Okay, serious question. When did the humble art of coloring turn into an exquisite hobby for rich kids? You open TikTok to get inspiration and just like for some chill vibes, and suddenly you're bombarded with information that makes you feel like you need at least $500 to spend on supplies to even get started. And this is absolutely nuts in my opinion. So today I present to you my no-nonsense kit for adults who want to try out coloring on an actual budget without selling their kidneys. This kit is for those who are curious about a new hobby, but so tired of being told that they need the exact expensive brands of markers, exquisite coloring book collections, etc. Let's just make coloring fun again without maxing out your afterpay, okay? So the only non-negotiable part of your coloring kit is the coloring pages.
Wow.
And the best part? When you're just starting out, you have so many completely free options. That's right, you don't have to spend a dime. Not to brag, but I actually have a freebie for you to try out. It's in the description. But also, did you know that the viral Coco Wyo brand, the one that you likely picture when you think like bold and easy coloring that everyone is doing on TikTok, has over 40 free, yes, completely free printable coloring pages on their website. I'll leave a link to that as well. And even if you do really crave that feeling of a printed coloring book on thicker paper, then go into your local Kmart or bookstore. Many of them actually stock those viral super popular brands. Touch it, feel it, flip through it, pick one to just get started. You don't need all of them, and it's gonna be like 10 bucks. You don't need an exquisite collection because each book already has like 30, 40, 50 pages for you to color. It's definitely enough to get started, and you don't need a huge variety because that can actually create overwhelm. Now, of course, we need something to color with. Again, if you haven't colored for a long time or ever before, and you want to see if this activity is even relaxing and enjoyable for you, I highly recommend just starting with whatever you have around the house. Like, likely there are some gel pens or crayons, etc. Just print out a page, leisurely color between the lines, and see if this is even something that inspires you to start with, because what's the point in overinvesting if this is not actually your vibe? However, chances are if you've been following coloring creators on social media, you have noticed that many use alcohol markers. And unless you're a graphic designer, you probably don't have any of those at home. If you start looking into widely recommended popular brands like Copics or even the Ohuhus that everyone seems to be touting as the budget option, no, they're not actually that budget, and you can rack up hundreds and hundreds of dollars spending on this stuff. And look, there will be people online who fight me on this, but I'm a firm believer that you can try cheaper supplies first, especially if you happen to find ones that have good reviews. If you're in Australia, I'm super happy with Kmart alcohol markers. But something I want to warn you about when choosing a set actually also relates to them. See, I have gotten this 36 marker set first, and while it's gorgeous and the colors are really beautiful, I sort of grabbed it blindly, and something that I didn't account for is that it doesn't really have enough colors. Most of them are really bright, and I'm someone who likes a bit more realistic approach to coloring. Like, I like my animals having more realistic colors, I like to have a few skin tone options, etc. And I can't stress enough that this set didn't suit my needs, not because it only had 36 markers, but because I didn't look into them carefully enough and considered what I will actually be using them for in my personal coloring journey. What I then ended up getting from Kmart, because I already knew that the quality really suits me, is this 168 marker set, which was $69 for all of them, and it's insanely cheap if you compare them to popular brands. And that really hit the spot for me for all the neutrals that I wanted. However, honestly, it may be a little bit of an overkill if you are not familiar with the color theory, or if you're really overwhelmed by this amount of choice. So I actually since then discovered an option that you can pick up on Amazon, which is is also great, and I will link a few options of the sets so you can have a look and see for yourself. And I think you can potentially get away with a much smaller set than I have, but do carefully look at the color swatches just so you can avoid my mistake and potentially just buy a single set. Because here's the thing, those things dry out, they won't last forever, and if you're not using them a lot, you will feel like all of this is going to waste. Not to mention that that's like a lot of plastic to just toss out, unfortunately. So okay, we have coloring pages and alcohol markers, and you could actually absolutely stop there. Like, that's plenty. But there are two more things that you can get for a couple of extra dollars. For example, a super easy way to add highlights is to use a white gel pen. And finally, for a stable surface to color on, especially if you're using printable pages, just grab a super cheap clipboard. Is it glamorous? Nope. But will it help you position yourself more ergonomically to color anywhere and everywhere? Absolutely. So I say go for it. If I was to start my coloring journey today, knowing what I know now, this is the kit I would probably have gotten, and this is exactly how much it would have cost me. And compare all this stuff to like one 6-pack of Copics. You're welcome. So louder for the people in the back. If you're coloring to relax, you don't need crazy arbitrary rules. You just need stuff that works and doesn't make you feel like some sort of a weird Pinterest fail. And if you've already embarked on this coloring journey and you share the same philosophy, drop your budget finds below for others to discover the hidden gems. Let's make art for the pure joy of it. No pressure and definitely no overpriced marker sets.